Welcome to Crossbody of Work. My name is Evan.
I am Javier.
I am noticeably sick. You can hear it in the way I talk.
Yeah, my man got caught up again.
I sure did. Just like Usher, who's headlining the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I am so happy about this. I freaking love Southern rap.
I feel ashamed because all my friends are like, wow, what a terrible Super Bowl headliner. And then there's me where I'm like, my second ever album was an Usher album.
No, see, my thing is, like, the perfect Super Bowl halftime performer is someone who's got a catalog that's like 8 songs. You know them. They're all bops. Boom, in, out, more football. Usher is perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Like, we're going to get, it's going to be awesome. Ludacris is going to show up.
There might even be more. Also, like, it's never just them. Like, they always bring some other people into the fold. Like, I'm telling you right now, if Andre 3000 shows up, I might cry.
We're gonna hear Oh My God. We're gonna hear lots of good jams. It's gonna be good.
T.I. shows up and they perform Guilty. I know it's not like a popular song. It was a very deep cut in Raymond versus Raymond, but still.
He'll never play You Remind Me, but I want to hear it. I just want to hear it. All right, we're not talking about Usher. Usher, he's just over there doing Usher things. Watch this. We are covering the career of Juan Rivera, a.k.a. Kwang, a.k.a. TNT, a.k.a. Savio Vega.
A.k.a. The Boss.
The Boss, yes. The Caribbean Kid, nickname he used as well. Hombre Dinamita, yeah. A lot of good ones. But then also Kwang. We'll talk about Kwang.
Hombre Dinamita is the worst way of saying Dynamite Man. I would just rather be Dynamite Man, personally.
Yeah. It
sounds better.
It does sound pretty good. What do you know about Savio Vega? I feel like this is a fun question for you.
I mean, I know that he's Puerto Rican. He's a Puerto Rican, honestly, like, kind of icon.
Yeah.
Especially amongst, obviously, professional wrestling. I know that he is Caribbean royalty as far as pro wrestling goes. It's him, the Colognes, and, like, whatever the hell they had going on in the Bahamas. And he's a very talented performer, but for some reason, a lot like Mark Briscoe, he just liked using kung fu.
Can you fault people for liking kung fu?
No, I fucking love kung fu. On my way back, a few months, you remember, the people might remember. I went to Puerto Rico like about a month and some change ago. On my way back, I was watching Hidden Dragon, Crouching Tiger.
Oh,
just no
really?
Sound, just only subtitles, and I was like, I'm not missing anything.
What got you into, like, do you watch kung fu movies?
My father.
Okay,
my dad had
my
so
uncle.
many Jet Li, Bruce Lee, just all the VHSs. He is action movies galore. He had at one point every single Arnold Schwarzenegger movie that had been released to that point, probably like 2004, on VHS.
Damn. See,
yes,
I was the only like male grandkid on that one side. My uncle was like, I have 2 daughters. I need to get somebody into these kung fu movies. Hey, you 7-year-old Evan, who's too young to understand. I was like, wow, these guys can kick real high. I like it. That's also the same uncle and family who watched WCW. So that was like the weird wrestling experience where I'd be like, what's going on over there? Who is this Sting you speak of? But yeah,
who's that Hulk Hogan guy?
Yeah. We cover a wrestler through 5 of their most notable matches through their career. And for Mr. Juan Rivera, we have quite the range of matches, all spanning from, I think we started in 87 is the first one, or 86 is the first one, all the way up to 2003.
But he's still going to this day.
He is still going to this day. To try to cover all of Savio Vega would be a lot. He was undoubtedly somebody who will get a mini-sode or a Wrestler Revisited on a YouTube channel at Crossbody of Work sometime in the future. I guarantee it.
Subscribe.
Hit subscribe if you're not. And if you are watching on YouTube, hello. I hope you enjoyed my Usher reference earlier. So, Rivera was born and raised in Vega Alta, Puerto Rico. He was connected to wrestling business while working as a security guard for the World Wrestling Council live shows. So that's kind of how he got his in. After graduating from high school, he began his professional wrestling career in 85. Our first match is 86. He is already going up against Carlos Colon.
He's like 19 in this match?
In 19, he is 18 in this match.
He's 18 years old. He looks like he does today.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Like, honestly, in this match, I can't say today, but in that match, he looks exactly how he does, like,
When he's in
post Nation of
WWF, at least,
Domination.
yes.
like, like that weird Los Boricuas run. That's
So
literally how he looks.
we have found this match. It's on our YouTube channel. You can find the links. You can also go to fullpresswrestling.com for the links. Versus Carlos Colon for the Universal Heavyweight Championship in WWC. Now, his name is TNT at this point. It's I kind of fuck with it, actually.
TNT.
He had debuted as TNT. He was being pushed heavily. Already gets a matchup against headman Carlos Colon. Commentary is in Spanish, so Javier's the only one enjoying this.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention to commentary.
Okay, so we're in the same boat. This is great because I heard it was in Spanish. I was like,
I typically don't is the thing though. Like,
that's true. I care more about commentary than you do.
I like do my best to tune it out, especially when I know like I don't mean I don't mean to rush into judgment. I didn't exactly expect this to be like a 5-star match. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't need the total experience here.
Yeah. Does the fact that Vega was only 18 change your opinion of the match?
I mean it ups my opinion of him.
Yes, agreed.
Because like, damn, my boy was out here working.
Also, we gotta acknowledge the fact that if you start this clip, you're gonna be like, "What's going on?" Because there's a man in a shark cage. Yeah, there's a guy.
It's not shark cage. It's literally just like the regular cage, like the Hell in a Cell like cage material, whatever the fuck that's called.
It's also red, so I was getting like flashbacks to the Hell in a Cell, like the Wyatt Rollins one. Yeah, wasn't good. I have no idea the context of this match and why that man is locked in that cage.
Could not tell you. I tried to I don't think they talked about it in commentary.
If they did, I wouldn't fucking know.
So well, clearly,
I'm
the fact that I'm telling you that they didn't.
I am of no help. The actual match in-ring stuff, I was impressed with young Rivera here. And
the entire time, I'm like, yeah, it makes sense that Carlos Colon is the territorial big babyface guy because he literally wrestles like every territorial big babyface.
How would you describe
white meat
that?
As fuck. Yeah. Whole lot of punches, flying clotheslines while running, getting beat the fuck down, doing a headbutt maybe. And like at one point you're getting put into a hold and you fire up a little bit, not like Hogan, but you fire up a little bit. You get a couple shots in. And then the person just like does something to slow you down completely. And then you get to the ropes and then you turn the momentum, but only because you managed to like reverse an Irish whip or like maybe the guy's going for a leapfrog and you were like, no. So when he turns around, you just punch him in the face.
That you described this whole match. Like it's a lot of TNT putting on arm locks. He gets a long trap hold. He locks him in a sleeper hold at one point. That's pretty much the whole map, like the whole match.
One thing that was very noticeable here, especially early on, the Savio Vega like fists that he does, like the up fist, like that. Yeah. He did in this match. He's 18. He does that at the end, like now. Like he literally did it at Backlash.
Yeah,
you know.
So he's had that figured out for 40 years.
That's freaking insane.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. There's a thing I need to talk about, and that's, we shit on that style of wrestling. You cannot overstate how over Colon is here. It's
I mean,
bananas.
It's not me criticizing it because it's a recipe that works. It has historically always worked.
Yeah, it's like shitting on the chocolate chip cookie. It's like, oh, it's basic. Yeah, it's a chocolate chip cookie.
Listen, I can do that because I don't like chocolate.
I forgot that you're the worst. I can't believe you're not doesn't like chocolate. Who does that?
You think I like this? Like, I'm sorry. I can't. You know how good every dessert made of chocolate looks?
Yes.
Fucking phenomenal. Every single one of them looks incredible. But I know the second I take a bite, I'm going to want to throw up.
What do you eat for dessert?
And pretty much anything not chocolate. Like if there's like
you have a choice. You can get, the chef can make whatever you desire.
Oh, I mean, I love a good bread pudding. I love a good, honestly, most kinds of pudding. A cheesecake. They've got like a cheesecake option. That's pretty decent. I'll take that.
I'm getting
They've
you a
got
shirt that says pudding, man. And there's nothing you can do to stop me.
if they've got not sorbets, yeah,
Sorbet.
sorbets.
Sorbet's
I'll
good.
take
Yeah.
like sometimes they have like a rotation. Like you have to
Yeah.
ask, oh, what are the
Yeah.
options today for sorbets?
I'm
And they'll be
I'm a
like,
slut for sorbet. I could get down for that. For
yo,
sure.
you're a sorbet slut.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm gonna get you
Yeah.
a shirt that says that.
There we go. TNT hits a nice thrust kick, locks in a sleeper. Cologne keeps bouncing off the turnbuckles to try to break it. Finally breaks it by straight up low blowing TNT.
Yeah, which it was a mule kick, and it's like, what the fuck are we doing here?
TNT gets sent to the outside. He moves towards Cologne. Cologne runs him into the ring post repeatedly. He definitely hits it. He does not protect his face even a little bit. Cologne brawls with him through ringside. The ref calls for the bell, and it goes to a double countout.
And then there's like a huge brawl, and I'm like, is this technically like abuse of power? Like, is Carlos Colon just beating up an 18-year-old for some reason?
I mean, would you put it past anybody who books their own territory to be like, I'm going to go over on this child?
But he didn't go over.
Yeah,
Is
true.
the-
But he was
he just-
protected.
It's just a huge brawl breaks out. Like now he's just literally beating up an 18-year-old.
I mean, people want to do what they want to do.
I think it's just a bit weird.
People need hobbies. I don't know.
Just a bit weird, isn't it?
Vega would go on an excursion of sorts and take him to Japan. And part of that excursion to Japan would be participating in the 1987 Real World Tag League. His partner, Abdullah the Butcher, a man we have not seen on this podcast before, which is hard to do 180 some odd episodes in.
I don't think it's hard to do.
I think it's kind of hard at this point.
It's pretty easy to just not do an Abdullah the Butcher sighting.
I don't know, man. He seems like such a notable name that to see him not see him until now is kind of weird. But TNT is teaming with Abdullah the Butcher in the World Tag League December 11th, 1987 against Hiroshi Wajima and Giant Baba.
I will just say it. Every time I see Giant Baba, I'm like, I just can't believe this guy was a top guy. Not only just like a top guy, but like like on the level of Antonio Inoki top guy.
I was having a conversation with someone recently about like they were trying to get back into shows their parents had showed them from like when their parents were kids. Like I'm talking like Howdy Doody, like the Andy Griffith Show, like stuff like that. And they were like, how did anyone think this was entertaining? And I'm like, you have to remember the options for entertainment were so fucking limited that
he's got T-Rex arms.
That anything was good.
My man is built like Zack Sabre Jr.
So any one person who was that big who decided to go into wrestling and was booked appropriately is going to get over.
Now, here's the thing. It's like the Giant Baba is literally, he's got the Zack Sabre Jr. build where he just looks like, he's like super skinny, but also kind of fat looking. He's like the ultimate slim, skinny fat, but he's barrel chested because he's built weird because he probably had that gigantism thing that Big Show had. So it's like, so he's just left with these like T-Rex looking arms because they're too skinny, and his legs are very freaking skinny too, and then his chest is just like all the way out. But it's not like a strong chest. It's just literally his rib cage are that wide.
It is kind of a Mike Wazowski build. I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of what it is. But Baba got over, man. You can't front on him for getting over.
I can hate because he also sucks at wrestling.
Wow, we're gonna get shit on by somebody. This is not good.
Yeah, listen, I respect the legacy of the Giant Baba because All Japan Pro Wrestling is not All Japan Pro Wrestling without him, and without All Japan Pro Wrestling, I don't get Kenta Kobashi, I don't get Mitsuharu Misawa, I don't get the core four, I don't get the next iteration of guys because. I'm sorry. I just don't think Kazuchika Okada becomes a wrestler without any of those guys existing, probably. And I need Okada in my life more than anything. So
you can respect where Baba what Baba brought you.
Yes, I respect the legacy and what he has, what his legacy helped establish in pro wrestling, because pro wrestling isn't what it is today without the Giant Baba. That's just a fact. However, watching this match, and honestly, anytime we see the Giant Baba, like, I'm good.
Baba is 48 years old in this match. I will also put that out into the universe as well.
Yeah, but
Uh,
like,
Savio,
have you ever seen Meet the Robinsons? Like he's like the little fucking T-Rex. That, me, 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 me.
one, that's Beaker from the Muppets. You show some fucking respect. Two, I used to quote the line from Meet the Robinsons, I have a big head and little arms, because I have a big head and little arms. So I used to quote that all the time. So you don't need to talk Meet the Robinsons and me. All right. TNT looks very different here. He has the very intense face paint. He's got the
Yeah.
black singlet. And yet he's not the weirdest looking person here because Abdullah the Butcher's here. And
He
that
just
man,
kind of looks like how he always looks as Savio Vega, except he
yeah,
has
except
face
he's got
paint.
the face paint on.
Yeah.
Where, and honestly, the goatee does wonders for him in terms of like
Yeah.
shaping his whole face.
Yeah, because he's got like a weird. It's like that's his face, his head. It's like it like dips in a little bit around like the temple area, and then comes back out. So the beard kind of helps him out in that regard.
Yeah, I guess his head kind of like it got squished in the middle. I guess I've never noticed that. I'll give it to you. So there's
That's like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Yes. Uh,
I broke Evan,
I'm
everybody.
so being sick. I'm so I normally have so much energy to defend myself against Javier's nonsense. It's TNT and watch him to start. TNT, like, he's got some good stuff. He gets like an arm drag in. He gets slapped immediately.
Wajima, sleeper build.
Sleeper build. Scoop slam knee drop for a 2. Abdullah gets tagged into huge applause.
He's over as fuck. I was like shocked by this.
He's got the
Abdullah
red
the
pointy
Butcher
boots.
is weird.
He's got the red pointy boots. He's got the fork marks in his head. He's just over.
He looks like Yokozuna if you shopped on Wish.
Oh, it's just another big guy. In terms of actual moves from the match, TNT does a headbutt off the middle rope to the back, which is weird.
Oh, and he did like a karate pose before it.
He did, because Savio Vega loves karate.
Felt that. Baba, at one point here I wrote, Baba's rocking Savio while looking malnourished. Then Abdullah comes in and starts fucking up Baba, and I was like, he's gonna break him.
So TNT, our boy Savio Vega,
Abdullah does karate poses.
he does do karate poses. TNT is bleeding. Abdullah Butcher just wipes his forehead, like he wipes TNT's forehead and licks another man's blood off his hands, which, that's
how he gave Hannibal hepatitis.
That's not a good thing. TNT hits a high kick to Baba later that I thought like could have broken him in half.
That was honestly really impressive for the simple fact that it was a flush super kick to a dude who's pretty fucking tall.
To a 6'10" listed man.
Yeah.
Butcher gets...
I mean, Shawn Michaels did that for recreational purposes whenever he faced The Undertaker. But
this is true. The actual finish of the match is kind of weird. TNT gets some chops to Baba. Baba just chops him in the noggin, hits a big boot, knocks him to the outside. Butcher and Baba brawl at ringside. Wachima hits a brainbuster on TNT and gets the win, eliminating the guy.
Back suplex.
Oh, was it? Oh, it was. Why'd I say brainbuster?
I don't know. I was very concerned there.
I've lost the ability to read being sick. That's not good either.
Also, the right before the brawl, Savio does like the falling tree cell. That's what I call it, the falling tree cell. When Baba hits a big boot, he literally just goes like this, just and falls slowly backwards.
Oh no, it's not good.
I love it.
It's not good. We are going to take a break. When we get back, we have the debut of Savio Vega. Back from the break, and it's Kwang time. I know I promised Savio Vega, but first we got to talk about Kwang. So, Rivera was recalled to the United States in July 93. He would debut in the WWF, and in January 94, he would debut as Kwang. What do you know about Kwang?
I don't know anything about Kwang.
The gimmick incorporated cliched elements previously used to portray mysterious Asian wrestlers, including a mask, stereotypical martial arts moveset, and Asian mist.
So he was basically Tensai before Tensai.
Yes, in terms of a guy who is not Asian doing the Asian thing. That gimmick did not last very long. Lasted about a year. Kwang was not popular because it was a terrible gimmick.
People just didn't get the vision.
He was also managed by Harvey Whippleman, I believe.
Okay, now what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, it's a tough look. It's a tough look. He did suffer his first loss in April, so he was undefeated for about 3 months before losing to then WWF champion Bret Hart. Savio Vega, they would get rid of the Kwang gimmick, and he would re-debut as Savio Vega. The way he re-debuted is he was in street clothes at the first ever In Your House pay-per-view in May 95. And Razor Ramon was attacked by Jeff Jarrett and Larodi, and Rivera was a planted fan in the audience and came to Razor Ramon's defense. And Ramon said, like, this is my childhood friend, Savio Vega. So that was his introduction, was he was just a childhood friend of Razor Ramon, which if you want immediate street cred in WWF, be a childhood friend of someone as cool as Razor Ramon.
More on Razor Ramon later.
Yes, definitely more on Razor Ramon later. Savio Vega would end up going and feuding with a guy named Stone Cold, a guy who had just become Stone Cold, was kind of transitioning out of the ringmaster gimmick. He was billed as the Caribbean Kid on the April 13th episode of Superstars and defeated Austin by pinfall. This was Austin's first singles defeat in the WWF. Savio Vega has Austin's first singles defeat. Check mark. And then Vega won the match against Goldust for the IC title on Raw, but it was voided because President Gorilla Monsoon reverted the decision. Then they continued to have brawls. It led to a specific match at In Your House 2. It was Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Savio Vega in a Caribbean strap match.
We need more of these.
You know the fun fact about this match, correct?
Yeah, Savio Vega has never lost a strap match before. He's 31-0. 30. Spoiler alert, he's 32-0.
That's not the fun fact I had in mind.
Oh, this is the final appearance for the $1 Million Man, because he then goes to WCW.
That's also not the fun fact I had in mind. Those are two fun facts, though.
Damn.
I'm not going to shit on your fun facts. Those are good fun facts. This match happened twice. So, you've not heard the story of In Your House 2. Which I guess was actually In Your House. So it was In Your House 8.
Yeah.
But they called it In Your House 2 because In Your House 8 technically happened twice. So
Isn't
there was this.
Beware of Dog 2?
No, it's Beware of Dog is the name of In Your House 8. But the first one happened on May 26th. There was a severe thunderstorm, and the power went out during the broadcast, which cut the feed after only 2 matches being shown on pay-per-view. So they redid certain matches 2 days later on Beware of Dog 2 to redo the matches. So if you look this up and you look at the results page, you'll see that Savio Vega defeated Stone Cold Steve Austin on May 26th in a Caribbean strap match that lasted 15 minutes. But he also defeats Austin on a Caribbean strap match that lasts 21 minutes 2 days later. So this match happened twice. There's also 2 other matches that happened twice. Vader versus Yokozuna and Goldust versus The Undertaker.
That's actually, I'm interested in that Vader versus Yokozuna match. It probably wasn't very good, but I'm interested in it.
That's the only one that has a different result.
Oh!
Yeah. On May 26th, Yokozuna defeats Vader, but on the re-airing, Vader defeats Yokozuna.
Oh, that's obviously not. It's not for the title, so it doesn't matter.
No, it's not for the title, but it's just interesting.
I like that.
For some reason, DiBiase puts his career on the line if Austin loses. Savio will have to be DiBiase's chauffeur if he loses.
Well, that's just because DiBiase's got to go join the NWO, brother.
I know, but Austin's face when he says that during the promo is so funny. What? Goddamn, son.
Goddamn.
I did feel a little bit like Austin while I was getting like the amount of medication. I took a throat lozenge. What? Another lozenge. Vicks Vapor Rub.
What?
Halls.
What?
More Halls.
Orange juice. What?
Ginger ale. I've been just smashing ginger ales and pouring them on myself, and they're not working. Have you seen this match before?
I feel like I have.
I know I've seen
like,
some of it.
Did we cover this when we did the Austin 3-parter? No?
I don't think we did, but if we did, that wouldn't surprise me because it is a very important Austin match. I'm going to look it up.
It's a very good Austin match. It's a very huge reaction for Savio Vega early on here as he's coming out. And then Austin just doesn't let Savio into the ring, and I don't understand why he was doing that because, like, he's got to attach himself to him before the match can start, so he can't actually do anything until Savio gets in the ring. So Austin, now we're just wasting time here, buddy.
We've covered this match. I didn't realize that. It was 150 episodes ago.
See, but yeah, but I remembered.
I did not remember.
The
It's
North
good match,
remembers.
The North. I'm more North than you. In terms of
North
match,
remembers.
I struggle with strap matches as a concept because they are a little hampered by their gimmick. They're hampered.
I like it like the Bryan Danielson Ricky Starks match, which I think is the best strap match of all time. I liked it because it was literally just they were strapped to each other. They didn't have to touch corners.
See,
That's great.
That's great. The touching the corners has a finite number of finishes you can do.
There was a match WWE where they did it may not have been just like a strap match, but they were tied together, and then there was actual like buttons or whatever in the corner, and they would light up when you hit it.
That was the Rusev strap match with John Cena, wasn't it? Where
it might have been.
There was a light. You could see who hit it last.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
No.
Did not
give the refs some agency to do their job. Just a little.
Just a little bit. It's like why I'm against the automatic umpire in baseball, even though the umpires kind of suck.
So bad. They're so bad. In terms of the actual in-ring action, this is good stuff. If you want to hear a breakdown, go listen to Austin's second part. No, I'm kidding.
Savio starts whipping that boy with the strap.
There's a lot. Savio's favorite move in this match is I can whip him. I never got the belt. Commentary talks about like getting the belt as a kid.
Oh, I got it. I got it like twice. My mom. It wasn't even my mom. It was my dad. So I only got it very early on because my parents split when I was 5. But like what I remember was my mom had this big metal spoon, like massive.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
huge,
yeah.
literally like this big that she would use obviously for like when she cooked and stuff. And there was one. She had a bunch of them. And there was one specifically that was like turned, like bent a little bit, and it was. I still remember to this day. One time, my brother was older. He was probably like in his mid-teens, like 14, 15, somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
And he was just being a shithead, and my mom had enough, and she just got him just one time right in the ass cheek, and he just lets out a woo! But ever since then, that thing has been bent.
See, I never got the strap. I did get the soap. I got the soap once.
Soap.
Oh, when your parents hear you say dirty words, so they're like, "All right, clean your mouth out with soap." I got the soap once.
I've never even heard of this.
It's because I didn't know my mom was on the phone, and my friend like passed the phone over to me, and I said something inappropriate to my friend, and I just picked up the phone, and my mom was like, "Home now." I was like, "Yep." I just knew. I was like, "All right, I'm in trouble." So it wasn't like bad. It was literally just like wash your mouth out with soap. So that's probably like grade 5, I think. And then, yeah, you have to like brush your teeth for like 20 minutes to get rid of the taste of soap.
That's freaking terrible.
Which sounds
healthy. That can't be healthy.
No, it's not. But neither's hitting your kids with a spoon. So
or with a belt. What happens to just like flicking? Why can't you just flick a kid? Just screw pinching at a certain point. Once like my mom used to be a big pincher until it got like I was like 7 or 8 when it happened. Like it just stopped. Like it hurt. Don't get me wrong, it kind of hurt, but I was just so used to it that the pain was like whatever. It's like when you get like a paper cut or something. Like you like it hurts. Ooh. It stings, but like you're an adult. You've had this happen a bunch of times by now. You're fine.
When you said that, the only thing that went through my mind is hearing Tony Schiavone say, "This stings." All right. So we're clearly in a good place. Any spots in the match you like?
Austin hangs Savio, and I was like, this isn't good for public relations.
Yes. So that spot starts where Austin goes for a tombstone, Savio reverses it, and they keep doing the tombstone reversal until Savio gets reversed and ends up on the outside on the apron.
It falls out of the ring.
And since they're connected with the strap, it gets wrapped around his neck, and Austin's like, well, this is a great opportunity for me, and just hi ho, pulls Savio Vega up and chokes him. Savio does not have the fingers in that he clearly needs to not be choking. So that
But
spot
I also
lasts
think he's got his chin under, to be fair.
fair, but still that spot only lasts like 2 seconds because Savio was like, "Oh no."
Savio's like, I am 3 seconds away from asphyxiation, my brother.
So this also happens right after that. Austin gets on the top rope, dives at Savio. Austin misses and goes face first on the steel. And as Savio is there is a grandma at ringside, and she's like holding up Savio Vega. She has him by the arms, and she's like, you can tell she's just like super happy that he's there. And I love
my children don't visit me anymore. This is the closest I get.
I love old people at wrestling events. I love
old people.
It.
Old people are so like, especially the kind ones and not the racist ones.
I was gonna say
they're so great.
Old people are great.
Like the one that was like a hippie in the 60s and 70s and then just like became an old person.
Yeah, and
like those are the great ones.
Continue to chill.
Yeah, they just be vibing. Maybe they still have a ponytail. Who knows? Sometimes they walk around, they put a little flower in their hair.
Just to be
it's a great time.
It's a dandelion.
It's great. This goes for so Austin hits a pile driver. He goes for a second one, but Savio gets out of it, and Savio hits a pile driver.
Yeah.
Austin goes for $1 million dream at one point here. Savio just like uses he like jumps up into the corner off of the corner turnbuckle and just crushes Austin. Which honestly, I don't know how Austin could in any way, shape, or form protect himself in that situation because he's like wrapped around, so he's not able to like cover himself up with his arms.
No.
So he just took like a full force blow from this large Puerto Rican man straight to his chest.
What do you think Savio Vega is listed at for weight on Wikipedia?
What's his height?
5'11".
Really? Maybe like 240?
260.
Jesus. Because he's like a thicker looking guy, but he's like wears it well.
He does. He does hold it well.
For 5'11", that's crazy.
So yeah, we get the $1 million dream. That doesn't work out. Austin then drags Savio by the neck, but Savio is touching the turnbuckles after Austin, which is a classic strap match finish. So
is
Austin
that what you would do? You would let the person like immediately, as soon as the match starts, it's like, I don't even want to fight. Just go, bro.
Yeah, get 3, and we'll do this quick little like Greco-Roman for the last one. That's what we'll do. Are you rock, paper, scissoring right now?
Yeah, I'll rock, paper, scissors the fucking person.
So after 3, Austin whips Savio into the turnbuckle by accident, and Savio manages to touch the 4th one in a row, meaning that Savio has won the match. Here's my question.
The momentum stopped. The momentum stopped for both men. So why wasn't that the end of their like thing? Because the rules are, if your momentum stops, all your things get wiped.
Well, this is my thinking. So Austin touches, we'll call them corner A, B, C, D, right? Austin touches corner A, Savio touches corner A. The second Austin touches corner B, doesn't that become Austin's new corner A?
Why you say that?
Because Savio was the last person to touch a turnbuckle. To me, if you touch another turnbuckle, that should like reset it.
Maybe it did. Maybe that's how he won the match.
But no, because technically Savio hit 4 in a row, even though Austin had been hitting all along. Also, Savio almost misses turnbuckle C. He is very close to missing that.
The third one he almost missed bad.
Misses entirely.
He had to do a quick little reflex thing for that one.
All right, let me just close the tab here about Giant Baba. We're done roasting him. Savio Vega.
Am I? I could go back to the well if you want.
Savio Vega would have a couple more shots at titles in the WWF, and we're going to take a look at one of those now. It is In Your House Revenge of the Taker. Savio Vega is part of the Nation of Domination in its first iteration. Him, Farouk, Crush, those 2 white rapper guys. It's a good time.
Listen,
D'Lo Brown.
I understand the diversity, but this is a group for brothers.
At the time, it wasn't. That wasn't the purpose of the Nation Domination. It becomes that.
Not appropriation. So why do we have the 2 appropriating white men and the redneck white man who definitely gives me racist undertones?
Which man is that?
What?
Which man is that?
Crush.
We're talking about Crush here. Okay. I think you're talking
Crush
about Stone.
Is the one that gives me the racist.
I think you're talking about Stone Cold for some reason still. Anyways, this match.
The character.
This match is Savio Vega challenging for the IC title against Rocky Maivia. Here's my fun fact. Savio has the first pinfall victory over both Stone Cold and The Rock in the WWF. Because earlier that month, Savio with the Nation got the first pinfall by holding the tights of The Rock, which was Rock's first pinfall loss in the WWF since his debut, meaning that Savio Vega has, I think, even a more impressive accomplishment than Chris Jericho beating them both in the same night.
I mean,
he beat both The Rock and Austin for the first time.
You know, I've never watched that pay-per-view where Jericho wins both titles in one night.
Really?
Why does he get both title matches? I know that he does it, and I've seen the matches, but why does he go from one and then later on in the pay-per-view he gets the other?
Because it was a mini tournament to combine the titles. Unify is the word I'm trying to find.
Yes, Vince McMahon and unifying titles. It's
a disease. It's a lethal dose of poison.
So is he.
What did you think of this match?
I liked it. It's probably my recommendation for the week, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, I really like this match. It's
over the strap match.
Oh, sorry. I'm considering the strap match. The strap match is my recommendation for the week. This match, there's too much Farouk for me.
This match is very Farouk heavy. Farouk is on commentary for this match, and it's very Farouk focused.
Bro, at one point they split screen it for half this match is split screen between just Farouk talking on commentary and the match.
I kind of want to hang out with Farouk. He seems really cool.
Now, Ron Simmons is a cool dude, but at the same time, my brother, you're not Malcolm.
Well, that was where they were going at this point. Rock is...
You're not Farrakhan. What are we doing here?
Rock hits right hands early. So early, in fact, he hasn't even taken off the IC title belt. Savio's also still in his gear. They are just not ready for the match, but they're still brawling anyways.
It's true.
Farouk comes out with his
arm drags.
By The Rock. Very good. Farouk comes out with his busted arm. He's on commentary, like we said, for the whole match. Farouk is just smack talking Ahmed Johnson.
Yeah, it's just and then at one point King says that he's stuck on Ebonics, and I was like, all right, Jerry.
Yeah, Jerry.
You're allowed to be a pervert, but you're not allowed to be racist.
Jerry, this is not your space. I would butt out if I were you.
Yeah, this is not there's no puppies around here. These are dogs.
These are dogs, not puppies.
I gotta say, The Rock, for a white meat babyface, because this is exactly what he is. He's a white meat babyface. The boy's a crisp worker.
Oh, Rock is clean as hell in the ring. Also, did you catch the promo he cuts before the match?
I didn't.
So he cuts a little backstage promo. It's weird, though, because now that you know what The Rock's promos can be, you hear it even in the very stilted promo he gives. There's 3 points in a 60-second interview where I feel like he's about to take off into the stratosphere and call a bunch of people jabronis. It's crazy. I feel like this is what people feel like when they see potential somewhere. You're like, oh my God. It's right there.
Did you hear the crack of that bat?
Yeah, the way he turns really drives into the ball.
Yeah, the way he's getting a lot of hip into that. This guy, look at the launch angle. Oh dear God.
This is always a fun question I like to ask people. Who's a prospect in any sport or wrestling that you were just dead wrong about? You thought they were going to be awesome?
Oh my God. I think I've said this on this podcast before. Josh Rosen, I have never been more wrong about. I thought that Chosen Rosen was not only going to be the best quarterback in that draft, I was like, this dude's the best quarterback I've seen since Andrew Luck.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I was all in on Josh Rosen. I was like, this dude makes every throws. He's fucking smart. People were knocking him because he played tennis as a kid. He was a tennis prodigy as a kid, and he has interests outside of sports. I'm like, he's just a smart dude with multiple let's let him cook. And he just sucked.
I don't really blame myself for this one because the hype was justified until it wasn't, which is RG3. I really don't blame myself for that one.
No, I'm not going to blame you because he was really, really good his rookie year, and then he got hurt.
You ready for my worst one?
Football more than anything is where I'm wrong. I'm wrong on a quarterback every year.
Basketball. I was all in on Tyrus Thomas. You could
That's a
not
bad
convince me.
take.
I know.
That's
You
even in the
could not.
moment bad take.
You could not convince me that he wasn't going to be a beast.
Was he Texas?
He was LSU.
LSU, that's the one.
Yeah.
Who
I
is-
get taken by the Bulls.
Yes. Yeah, he was the 4th pick. No, he was traded for LaMarcus Aldridge.
He sure was. And I was like,
LaMarcus
what?
Aldridge is Texas. That's why.
I was like, what a great pickup. Oh, he's going to be so good. Oh.
So why do you care? You're not a fucking Portland Trailblazers fan.
No, but I just liked him. Any wrestler that you were like in on, and then they just never panned out. And you can decide what never panned out means.
We're getting there with Pete Dunne, and it's very sad.
No. Really?
Because they're never gonna do anything with the guy.
That's fair.
It's tough because a lot of my guys have become guys. You know what I'm saying? Like I was in the Shield, like Seth Rollins is obviously my favorite one because I love Tyler Black. Like, and then Seth Rollins obviously became Seth Rollins. Like John Cena was my guy growing up, and then he became John Cena.
Mine, you're gonna be like, yeah, that's the most Evan pick I've ever heard. I think I've talked about it on air before. I was so in on Mordecai.
You have mentioned this before.
I was all in because
Baron Corbin. I was wrong about Baron Corbin.
I won't say that Shelton Benjamin was misguided. He should have been used much better.
No, everyone says he should have been better. That's like a unanimous thing.
I was like, Mordecai is my generation's Undertaker.
Bro. Fucking vampire. You thought the vampire was going to be...
Wait, no, he was a holy zealot at that point.
No, but then he became the vampire.
I know, and I hated him. I hated him as Kevin Thorne.
It's Baron Corbin for me, because I thought Baron Corbin was going to be that fucking, like, just top heel. I didn't think he was going to be like the number one heel in the company, but I thought he could at least be number 2 and like used in a very prominent way. And man, when he won Money in the Bank, I was like, let's go. The Lone Wolf's going to cash in. He's going to take the title. Like, we're probably going to get someone who like, the timelines don't match up, but we would have gotten like a Kofi Mania or another Dolph Ziggler post IC feud, like token title run, and then Baron Corbin was going to end that after like 5 minutes. You know,
I also was very, very high on Chris Masters.
I never saw it. I was like, this dude's got big titties and that's it.
I think I was just like, hey, look at the physique on this son of a bitch.
My thing with that is like, if you're going to use like the master lock or like the hurt lock, whatever the fuck that the full Nelson hold, like you've got to be Bobby Lashley. Yeah, Bobby Lashley puts that son bitch on, and he's like, I'm like, you know what? I believe it. Chris Masters, like, I just think he was almost too literally muscular to do.
Actually, if you ever want a good dance move, just pretend you have somebody in the full Nelson that you got to move around. It's a good dance.
So
move.
You're not very good at dancing, are you?
I'm white people good at dancing. Like I have a.
Woo!
You know the scene from Hitch where he's like, "This is your box. You live in the box." You know that scene? That's me. I don't try any new fancy shit. I just live in the box.
You got like a solid 2 steps with a shoulder shimmy.
Oh yeah, and like I can bust out the things that are needed. You know, I know how to Dougie. I can Millie Rock. I can do the shit.
You bust it down?
I break it down. I try.
Dude, there's a difference between busting down and breaking down.
I constantly break down. There's a match against The Rock happening. That may be our biggest. If you're still with us, congrats to you, because that was our longest diversion I think I've ever taken.
We went like 4 different ways on it too. That's the worst part.
The NyQuil is hitting right now.
Savio does a spinning heel kick into the corner and then falls out of the ring while hitting it. He's like, my brother's just gone.
I think we have a really high tendency to pick like random matches. Like we know we need to hit this one. We know we need to get some of this. You know, when you're talking to me about Savio Vega, like we got to get him in all Japan, at least one match. We got to get some in Puerto Rico, obviously. And we got to do the trap match and we'll figure out the rest. And I'm like, oh, let's do this Rock match. And of course, pull up the Rock match, fucking falls out of the ring. The frequency with which we have of picking people's like most prominent matches and they do something super weird in that one match is so high.
I mean, he comes back in like he's fine. He comes
Yeah.
right back in, and he like no sold the fall and everything. But it's just my brother felt like I don't know what the end game like. Was he supposed to catch himself in the corner?
I
Because
think
Rock
so.
wasn't supposed to catch him. Is the thing. Rock was supposed to eat that spinning back kick, but he just went flying out. Like he had no protection. Just oh no. And then so Rock, he's back in the ring. He starts wearing down Rock. Just starts wearing him down. A lot of holds, a lot of on everywhere in his body, whether it be like a headlock or
It's
grabs
very
his arm.
similar to the Carlos Colon match.
Yes, this is essentially just a reversal of roles here. And at one point here, Rock hits a small package out of nowhere for a near fall.
Yeah.
He hits a fisherman suplex or a fisherman buster, whatever the fuck the people want to call it. For a visual pin, but
Yes.
the Nation had the ref distracted.
D'Lo specifically distracting the ref.
D'Lo Brown in a suit, which was an interesting look.
He rocked it.
Well, it's just because no one else wears the suit. They just wear fucking. They got the kufi with the like Nation of Domination like outfits.
And then D'Lo's out there in his suit.
It's weird.
Savio with chops in the corner, roll out of the corner. Rock pushes Vega into the corner. We get a back suplex by Rocky. We get a nice kip up, belly to belly for a 2 count. Hits a rock bottom before it was the rock bottom, which I thought was very interesting.
And he put some stank on that bitch too.
He really did. Gets 2 count, backslide for a 2 count. Then we get to essentially the finish.
Yeah, Savio tosses Rock out of the ring, and he goes right into Crush, who had his back towards the ring for some reason.
He was
like
yelling at
was
the
just
people.
standing there like a security guard. Crush is pissed. The ref is distracted in all this. Crush gets pissed, and he hits a heart punch. I love a heart punch.
I couldn't remember if you loved or hated a heart punch.
I love a heart punch. I just think it's so unbelievably outrageous. Like the Stan Stasiak, like obviously Stan Stasiak originated it, but like Crush also like this iconic move used by Stan Stasiak,
and it goes to Crush,
the man who was like the biggest heel of the 70s, in WWF at that point.
Yeah.
And then the next person that gets it 20 years later is fucking Crush.
This is like when Bob Backlund trained Darren Young.
Not for real, though. But, like, actually. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, so Crush costs Vega the IC title by
count
out by punching Rocky in the heart, and he can't get up. So Crush and Vega start yelling at each other. Farouk gets off of commentary, he starts mediating, and the Nation managed to bond together again by beating the shit out of the Rock.
Yeah, and more people showed up. It's not just the 2 white rappers, Crush, Farouk,
there were more.
Savio and D'Lo there. Some other brothers showed up.
Ahmed Johnson comes in to save the day.
We're going to 2x4.
Well, you got to have an equalizer. We're going to take a break. When we get back, Savio Vega makes his own gang. Back from the break, our promo for this week is Savio Vega debuting Los Boricuas. That's what he's doing. Because he's been kicked out of the Nation.
We are the Nation of Domination.
I feel like for most fans, they think of the second iteration of the Nation.
They do, with Mark Henry in it and The Rock.
And Kama and Farouk and D'Lo.
Yep.
That was the lineup they think of. They know Owen Hart was in the Nation, but they don't know why. And they don't know when. And they don't know
apparently
how.
white people have to be in the Nation for some reason.
Because what happened was Savio and Crush were both kicked out of Nation of Domination. And they said, fine, to quote Bender Bending Rodriguez, I'll make my own gang with blackjack and hookers. And so they made 2 separate gangs. Crush made Disciples of Apocalypse, which big motorcycle enthusiasts, and Savio Vega made Los Boricuas.
You know, Austin Butler has a movie about bikers coming out soon.
Has he been talking like a biker for the last 6 months?
I have no idea. I didn't even see the trailer. I just know that it's getting a lot of Oscar buzz. But I just like to think that there's a universe out there where him and Crush just cruising down the street. Down the highways and byways, and then they meet up at a bar somewhere, and Austin Butler's crew and Crush's crew just fight each other.
And Crush's crew.
Austin Butler getting hit by a heart punch, sending me right now.
Poetry.
I need that.
Farouk is being interviewed in the ring with the Nation. The Nation at this point just being D'Lo and Kama. Vince McMahon is interviewing them, and he says the Nation weren't given title opportunities because of the color of their skin. Farouk fired Crush and Savio from the Nation, and once he mentioned Savio's name, Savio appears at the top of the ramp.
Yes. He says he whooped Savio like a dog, by the way.
He did say that.
Savio tells him to shut up. Says he didn't fire him, or you didn't fire me. I quit.
I love that he gets kicked out of the Nation, and Savio immediately is like, all white linen. That's what I need. I'm wearing white linens. That's the outfit.
Listen, there's a lot of Puerto Ricans wearing white, bro.
I did see a video where somebody traveled to Cuba for the first time, and I know Cuba and Puerto Rico are very different. I know that.
Yes,
but
Cubans especially wear white, though.
Yes, and they're like, the first thing you need whites, and they like got them the white linens. Everybody, like, you need to be wearing these.
I have a white linen. I do. I got a short sleeve linen button up that has stripes, like pink stripes on it.
That does not surprise me in the least.
Yeah. That's what I wore to the Taylor Swift concert.
That's a vibe.
I was my lover era.
That's
and
truly
I have the white
vibe.
linen pants that are only 3/4 pants, so they only go up to like a little above my ankle.
Yes, you're ready for the flood. Savio whistles and brings out a new gang. I have a question for you.
I don't know any human being there. Not a single person in that collective of people that I recognized. I was like, bro, they just pulled these motherfuckers out of they just went to the Bronx or Washington Heights and they pulled a bunch of Puerto Rican dudes. Like, there's no shot that any of these motherfuckers are actual wrestlers.
Literally every member of Los Boricuas is a second-generation Puerto Rican wrestler.
How many of them have the last name Colon?
None.
It's crazy.
We have Miguel Perez Jr., who's a former ECW and WCW wrestler and is the son of Miguel Perez Sr. We have Jesus Castillo Jr., the son of Pedro Huracan Castillo, and Jose Estrada Jr., the son of Jose Estrada Sr., obviously. So all generational Puerto Rican wrestlers.
I don't know any of those people.
Well, they're all here, and they're here for gang warfare.
DOA shows up, and there's a major brawl.
I don't like that the skinheads got the biggest reaction. And I know they're not actually skinheads, but they feel very skinheadish.
Maybe these people were just a big fan of the Heart Punch.
They're like, I grew up watching Stan Stasiak. I'm happy that it's being carried on.
I love a Heart Punch.
They send cops into the ring as the things go wild. Like,
yeah, at that point, I'm not gonna lie to you. In my mind, I'm like, brothers, get out of the ring, get out of the arena.
The gang wars would come to an end when the leaders of the three stables faced off in a triple threat match that Savio Vega won. I did not know that he was the winner of that triple threat match. After the angle, Los Boricuas splintered into two tag teams, and as a result of a severe arm injury sustained in the Brawl for All tournament, that's when Savio Vega would be released. Yeah.
No.
After an injury, I'm trying to remember who he...
A severe arm injury in the Brawl for All?
Against Draws. Yeah. He won the first round against Brackus, and then in the second round against Draws, he injured his arm. And so he was released in August 98. He returned to WWF television in July of 99. He would do some appearances on Super Astros. He would do commentary at the Spanish announce table. He had a couple other spots. And then he would be part of the IWA. So originally, the International Wrestling Association was a developmental territory for in Puerto Rico for the WWF. But then it became independent. And when I tell you that for the next 15 years, Savio Vega just ran the IWA.
I respect that.
He just sat there and ran it. He wrestled as Savio Vega, though often ended his feuds by wearing his TNT-style war paint and changing his persona to El Hombre Dinamita because his TNT gimmick was still trademarked by the World Wrestling Council. So he couldn't be TNT.
It's essentially the same thing. It's just dynamite, man.
It's the same gimmick.
Yeah, same thing, same gimmick, same guy, same moveset, same everything.
I feel like it's a little bit more rare now to see somebody with a very defined gimmick go to a new company and they have the exact same gimmick.
I mean, Cody Rhodes.
That was my one example.
Yeah,
it was like Cody Rhodes.
Cargill.
Cody Rhodes was just still Cody Rhodes.
I feel like if MJF comes over, which honestly I don't think he is, but if he comes over, he's probably just gonna stay being MJF.
Savio Vega was also referred to in IWA as the boss because he was in charge of a lot of things.
He's
And
the
that led
boss.
to this match. It is IWA Jusio Final 3, April 5th, 2003. It is the boss versus Scott Hall.
His childhood friend.
His childhood friend, Scott Hall.
You know, R.I.P. to Scott Hall. And I know he had many troubles post WCW and obviously during WCW. My man's looking old here, bro.
I thought for old Scott Hall, I thought he looked in
old.
great shape compared to
I know, but like just his head.
Okay.
Old.
Because
his hairline's back here, man.
Physically, he looks great.
Yeah, I mean he's got to be in his early 40s at that point.
I'll look up Scott Hall's age.
Like he can't be that old, but at the same he's young enough where he can keep himself in excellent shape, especially if he's just
Scott
in
Hall
the gym, brother.
Scott Hall was 45 at this point.
Yeah, like that's fine. Like you can keep yourself in terrific shape at 45. You're still kind of young at 45. But man, his hair's gone. The hair's done. And the hair makes him look old as fuck.
It's true. The hair stuff. It's like when Sean shaved his head and we were all like, "Oh no." Childhood.
Like this is not okay. I mean, it was better than what he was before where he just was bald all the way up to like fucking here but wore a cowboy hat to block it out.
Yeehaw. What do you think of the match?
Bumps. This match, God, this was a shitty match.
It's hard to find anything from Savio Vega's IWA run. It's all random one-off matches, and I wanted to find the latest one I could, and this was the latest one I really could find. He has some really notable feuds, apparently.
Maybe because they just didn't tape it.
With a guy named Chris Angel, not that Chris Angel. He wasn't getting mind freaked or anything. But with a wrestler named Chris Angel, he had apparently like a 4-year-long feud. I couldn't find any good matches.
Damn.
You find a lot of clips of it.
Chris Angel then.
Remember when Chris Angel, like the Mind Freaker, was popular?
Yeah, back
That's
in like
weird.
2007.
Why?
It was Chris Angel and who was the other one? Who's the other one?
David Blaine.
David Blaine. Remember the fake David Blaine, like the impersonator guy who was just funny as fuck?
So funny.
That shit was hilarious. The thing I'll never forget is when David Blaine just tried to put himself in a block of ice and survive for like a month, and he made it like a week.
I just remember everyone's like, Chris Angel's so crazy. I'm like, no, he's literally
he like
just
floated over the
pyramid thing.
Pyramid thing, and I'm like, yeah, okay.
Is that pyramid of Bass Pro Shops now, or am I getting my things confused?
No, I think the pyramid's still. It's Vegas. It might be actually the pyramid might be the massive ball now. That's in Vegas.
I love the ball.
That new studio hall that's getting opened up by U2 for some reason.
Right. The Bass Pro Shop pyramid in Memphis is the 9th tallest pyramid on the face of the earth.
Okay, to be fair, how many pyramids are there on the face of Earth?
I don't know. More than 9, I guess.
It's not last.
I'm not wrong. Yeah, this match is rough.
Savio's doing the Scott Hall taunts, though.
Yeah, he's fucking with Scott Hall a little bit.
Savio attacks Hall from behind. Big corner shots by Savio. Hall gets a little bit of life. And we mentioned this definitely in the Scott Hall episode. The man has a great working punch.
He does. Excellent working punch.
Excellent working punch.
Savio's working punch, not bad. Not great, but not bad.
He's got to add a little. He adds a little.
He has that one. These are the ones that are good. It's the ones, anything else doesn't look as crisp.
Yeah, don't do it for me. It doesn't work for me, bro.
The uppercut ones are nice.
Look, little throat punch. Just
Vega hits some chops. Hall turns him around, hip tosses him out of the corner. We get a little spot where Victor Quinones, who I guess is in charge of IWA, clocks the boss while he's in the corner with Hall. Ref does not see.
Scoop slam by Savio, scoop slam by Savio. And he goes up to the top rope. Hall then catches him there and just crotches him.
Yeah.
And Savio takes a mean bump.
Then we
get your favorite spot in the match, probably.
We do, but we also get a subtle low blow by Scott Hall for like the ref is standing right there and he just mule kicks him. And the ref's just like, I saw nothing. I didn't see anything, Mr. Scott Hall. You can do whatever you want. Scott Hall then hits the fall-away slam. It's a little rougher than we're used to, but it's still good.
Oh, he's 45 years old. Some guy distracts the referee. I don't know who the fuck that is. Hall's manager attacks that person. And then some other guy named Miguel Perez tries hitting Hall with a bat, but ends up getting rocked by the bat.
Well,
or Hall ends up getting rocked by the bat because so he like Hall takes the bat, hits him with it, I think, right? No.
so
Hall,
what happens is Miguel Perez, who is one of Los Boricuas, if you remember correctly from our lesson earlier, one of Los Boricuas, Miguel Perez, comes in the ring with a cane. He goes to attack Scott Hall with the cane. Scott Hall manages to fight him off. It's Savio Vega comes back in with a bat, and then he hits Hall in the back with the bat and manages
while
to
Hall's
pick up
going
the
for
win.
Razor's Edge.
Yes, because he's going to hit Razor's Edge on Miguel Perez. But the boss prevails. He wins.
It's like 2 or 3 times with the bat too. So like I can understand why he wins with that.
Yeah. So I mentioned Savio Vega would kind of run IWA for a long time. 3-time World Heavyweight Champion there. 1-time Hardcore Champion. 2-time World Tag Champion. Both times with Miguel Perez. Not a surprise. That was his tag partner with Los Boricuas as well. A couple other things Savio Vega has done. He showed up in TNA as a road agent. He was not actually part of TNA, but 08 through 09, he was the head agent for the TNA Knockouts division.
Good for him.
And also the unofficial trainer during that tenure. That's pretty good. In late 2011, he was rehired by TNA to work with Ring-Ka King. Do you know what Ring-Ka King is?
Ring-Ka King? Yeah. Ring-Ka King was like this. Was it a faction? I don't even remember. I know there was like an Indian guy.
No, so Ring-Ka King was the affiliate Indian brand of TNA.
Oh my God, yes, but I swear to God, there was a wrestler also named Ring-Ka King. But yes, that's true. And then they had, what the fuck's his name? Well, obviously, I mean, they had Sanjay Dutt, but like, oh my God, I'm blanking on his name. Give me some names.
So I'll tell you some names from Ring-Ka King. I'll tell you some guys who were there. Abyss was there. Bulldog Hart was there, aka Harry Smith. Chavo Guerrero Jr. was there. Gurv and Harv Shira, which are the Bollywood boys, were there. Yes. Jeff Jarrett, Jimmy Rave, Joey Hollywood, which was Joey Ryan.
Do you think that this is where Jeff Jarrett got to while he was working at the Indian territory, he got to get sat and sing that way?
Are you thinking of Mahabali Shira?
Mahabali Shira, that's who I'm thinking of.
Yeah, he was Mahabali Veera here. Also, there was
sucked.
Sean Davari, Arya Davari, Scott Steiner was there, which is dope.
Big Papa Pump, baby.
Roscoe Jackson, who you know better as Trevor Murdoch, was part of it.
Not at that point.
You're right, not at that point. And Tony Broadway, a.k.a. Lil Guido.
Shout out my guy.
He's part of that. He's been part of other interpromotional angles, and as we know, he has shown up in a couple of different things. He was at The Undertaker's retirement at Survivor Series in 2020. He entered Major League Wrestling's Battle Riot 3 twice, once as Savio Vega and once as Kwang, which is very funny. And then, of course, we saw him most recently at Backlash this year, helping out Bad Bunny, being fucking cool.
Getting such a big pop.
I legitimately might go watch Backlash again this weekend because the pop in that match is bananas. Between that and the Zelina Vega match, like, it's enough.
Yeah. And Io Shirai's match.
Io gets a big pop. Like, it's dope, man. That's a good show.
That was a great pay-per-view. I really enjoyed it.
Shout out to
WWE's been putting on some bangers this year.
Shout out to Damian Priest, too. He's fantastic in this match.
Yes.
What did you think going and looking at the career of Savio Vega?
I liked it. Listen, I just like Savio. You know, he's not one of the all-time cool legendary great workers or anything like that. He's not this over the top character or personality like a Rock or a Jericho or some shit like that. But he was a guy who was a steady, consistent worker who was very, very good at what he did, who knew his role and did his best to fulfill it, and honestly, who represented an entire culture at the grandest stage here in America. And you can't you have to respect it. It's a career that's beyond respectable. When you see the pop that he got at Backlash this year,
It's
I
crazy.
understand that a lot of that was probably because he was helping Bad Bunny. He was like the biggest star in the world. But like that also has to do with a lot of the respect that he gets. Like pro wrestling's a big deal over there. And Savio Vega is one of those homegrown stars that became a big deal. It's like him. It's obviously Carlos and Carlitos Colon. It's the Colones, and there's not that many other people on that list. Like he was truly a transcendent star as far as that market goes, because he was able to do it in so many facets of pro wrestling, like all over the world.
I think I get spoiled as a Canadian. The amount of Canadians who make it to the WWE, right? And the frequency with which they get to do homecomings, right? Like
Yeah.
Edge can have his last match on a SmackDown in Toronto. Like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn come home all the time. Trish Stratus here all the time. Christian, Jericho, all that.
I get one Dominican pretty much, and
The
it's Zelina Vega, who's half Puerto Rican.
the frequency with which WWE or big wrestling events go to Puerto Rico is slim. The amount of big name wrestlers who come out of Puerto Rico is not as slim as you think, but they don't get to have those homecomings nearly as often, right?
Yeah.
So that's why Backlash was so cool. And that's what's also good to just go back and watch. Like, yeah, I made the joke of like, I don't understand the commentary. I still can appreciate a good match when I see one. You know what I mean?
Also, they're very energetic.
The crowd's fantastic. The crowds are really into it. Like, also, that Scott Hall match was not just in like a bingo hall. It was in a baseball stadium.
Yeah, like it was very much a bit, and it was probably sold out.
Big deal. It was a big deal. It was a good match. I mean, it wasn't a good match, but it was a good show. All right.
It was a good show for the people of Puerto Rico who absolutely deserve it, because wrestling is global, and that includes the parts of the world that aren't the traditional powers.
That's true. This was also a good show. I powered through it, even though I'm very sick still.
Yeah. Well, I tried to distract you as often as I could.
And you absolutely nailed it. You should follow us on all the social media. You should follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Crossbody of Work. You should check out all of our fun posts that we have on Instagram. It's a lot of cool stuff. You should also see all of our new content on YouTube at Crossbody of Work. Lots of extra content there. Whatever you want, whatever you're looking for. Drafts, extra deep dives into specific matches, into other wrestlers. Lots of cool stuff there. An interview.
We're back to our regularly scheduled programming when Evan no longer has a vid.
I could not edit for the life of me. I tried, and it was not good.
Evan was sleeping.
I was out cold for 48 hours. You should follow Javier wherever he tells you.
The Twitter machine at JMello Sports.
Follow me at @7gomes, ITSEVANGOMES, also on the Twitter machine. FullPressWrestling.com for all the links to these matches. Of course, the Strat match is the recommendation. Also, check out the Carlos Colon match to see an absolutely electric crowd. I think you'd enjoy it.
Or just honestly, just watch the whole thing. Fuck it. Vibes.
Watch the Giant Baba match and roast him alongside Javier. You'll have a really great time. You'll have a really,
if anybody
really
wants
great
to do a side-by-side roasting of Giant Baba with me, like, I'm down. just hit me up.
Twitch is just going to be us pulling up wrestlers and just talking shit. And then we get canceled.
Great at talking shit. Let me tell you something.
Yeah, but the whole get hit part after, that's what I'm not good at. FullPressShop.com. Cop the merch. Support the boys. Javier's got one of the tees on right now. You can see it.
Here.
Oh, my God. He's got so much to shill. This is so great.
I got the other one, baby.
Look at that. He's holding it up upside down. A Price is Right model. You are not. What a star. There it is. Crossbody of Work at FullPressShop.com. Next week, we cover a man who just had a monumental record broken recently.
A historic event.
We are diving into the career of the Honky Tonk Man.
So many broken guitars, so little money drawn.
I know nothing about the Honky Tonk Man except for the IC title reign and rhythm and blues.
And the fact that he was kind of a dick.
Yeah. So we're going to dive into the Honky Tonk Man and figure out, is he kind of a dick?
Is he a dickhead?
That's a fun game to play. I play that with my friends when they start dating new guys. I'm like, is he a dickhead?
Is he a dickhead?
It was a lot harder in college because like you meet someone, you're like, oh, he's kind of a dickhead. But now, like, I'm pretty lucky. Like most of my friends, actually, pretty much all my friends are in relationships where I'm like, I actually like the other person.
Yeah, like make this work.
Yeah, because there are some times when you get stuck with your partner or your friend's partner. You're like, oh, ooh, you're not a nice person.
I hope that one doesn't work out.
Just you're like trying to get suggested ads on their phone. You're just whispering therapy. All right. Now you will all get suggested things about therapy, which is very exciting for you. It's time for everyone's favorite last part of the podcast. Javier, any final words for the people?
This week on Life Advice with Javier, Evan's taking control and talking about the autoimmune system.
That's right. My advice for the people this week is, COVID's still out there. It's very real still. It sucks. It absolutely sucks. I have not been nearly as cautious as I should be, knowing that also numbers, at least in Canada, at least where I am, have been going up
here too,
pretty steadily. Mask up in really crowded places. You don't have to mask up everywhere, but like mask up in crowded places and sanitize regularly,
especially if you're indoor.
Yes, and just be conscious of like. Also contact trace. So like once I got sick, once we confirmed that we had what we have, we immediately texted a bunch of people to be like, hey, by the way, we tested positive. We think it happened this night. Like we've seen you since then. You've been in our home. And we were lucky. Most of our friends are totally fine. One other friend got it as well. My wife and I both got it.
You got it from him?
That's the prevailing theory, is that we all got it at the same place. We don't know how only like a third of the people who were there got it, but that's the way these things work. It's just sometimes it's random. You never know.
I still haven't gotten it. So.
This is now my second time. Last time was 3 weeks before my wedding, and this time was a week before my wedding anniversary. So just be cautious out there. It's not fun. Wash your hands. Take your multivitamins too. Do all the things to keep your immune system healthy. It's so important.
Take care of yourselves.
Yeah. My
lungs.
Of
spinach.
I haven't talked this much in 5 days. My lungs hurt now, and I'm going to go take a nap. So that's my time to sign off. Thank you so much for joining us this week. We're back next week to talk about the Honky Tonk Man. We'll talk to you then.
Kwang.